And because some of the crazy adventures that we have off screen sometimes when we're just farming for certain things are much more enjoyable than me just recording me just doing random things. There's only one reason why I don't actually record those times is because my friend does not want to be recorded. So I respect his privacy, however you want to pretty much pronounce it. So I respect him in that way. So I choose not to record it. But if he said he didn't care, then obviously I would. Or at least one of them it doesn't matter if I record it or not, but the other one does. So I respect his privacy, so I choose not to. Now, it's not because like you guys can get his IP or something like that from tab. As you can see, you only see my character name and blah blah blah, but the only thing is that like he doesn't want anybody that he knows in real life, even though I keep telling him though like my channel's very small, nobody's going to recognize it, but he goes just in case in the future though. He doesn't want to get like sort of that sideline not sideline, what is it? It's like fame, but only fame by association pretty much. We're back here again. Yep, we're back here again. So it's like if he were to start his own YouTube channel or start his own Twitch channel or something like that, he doesn't want to be like, hey, you're that one guy from this one guy's YouTube channel. It's like, no, that's not how I want to be recognized as. I want to be recognized as my own individual rather than being recognized by like, hey, you were with this guy, right? And again, I respect that. But a lot of times, usually, it's because there's a lot of private things that are happening behind him, pretty much. Like, you know, people talking, his family talking, and all that such. So it's like he doesn't want their voices also to be heard because, again, getting sort of their permission, they'll be very confused. Like, who's recording us? Like they'll think of it as a malicious thing, right? So he's like, nah, it's just... Seriously? No, you don't deserve to live. I was minding my own business. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to go with, not seeing any more. As unfortunate as it is. So yeah, so while I do have friends that say they don't really care though, it's like, but a lot of the times though, we're on a Discord call, and like there will be one of them that's like, oh, don't record me. And then it's like, well, then I can't really record then. Because if one says no, sorry guys, no recording. That's why a lot of these videos though, like while I still had, like while this is on a server, but I'm the only one on, is because of, well, the time, pretty much, because I have my own schedule to kind of go by. I'm usually on at weird times than everybody else, so obviously I'm usually always alone. But not only that, though, even if like all three of us were like online at the same time, though, one of them doesn't want to be recorded, so, you know, I can't really record that either. Because I can't record that, there's very little footage that it needs to get done, and then I get more stressed because I have to go make up 6 videos. This time I'm not really stressed. This time I think I only have like, I think I just started uploading, I think the latest session, I think. So I'm still good with videos though, but I just wanted to give an update, and hopefully we can finish off Lord Q's mission. And there we go. And that's pretty much that. So my Oblivion mod, I finally fixed a lot of the issues. I haven't fixed one issue with the Nebula Rift Ring, but then again, I fixed many other issues, so it's fine. I also changed a lot of the mechanics of the Conjure spell, so that was really fun to make or to get working. one of the major features that I changed was that instead of you always getting the clothing version of the armor, I actually gave you armor of the like an actual armor of the stuff. So in the case, I think no, Minecraft, I don't have a good example for it. Or at least not right now. I think that's my later build. I'm gonna do that. But anyway. But yeah, so like what it does now is that whenever you attempt to conjure the armor, it is going to scan your character to find out which of the skills between heavy and light, whatever is stronger. Because whichever one is stronger, that's what the armor is going to be. So if your light armor is better than your heavy armor, well, you're getting the light armor. And then the hood is going to be the heavy armor. Because, well, you still want to work on both, right? So there's that too. The only difference is that, like, I haven't really changed the armor rating of the light armor and the heavy hood pretty much. So pretty much they're just as strong as the heavy armor and the light hood pretty much. The only difference is that their armor thing that they take. And I thought that for some odd reason that yeah, I thought that for some odd reason though that like Oblivion had more than just more perks specifically for like the heavy and light armor, similar to how Skyrim is. Now I know I haven't played Skyrim for the channel yet. It is planned, but if you don't know much about the Skyrim like heavy armor system, allow me to explain. So for heavy armor in general, there is something you gotta know is that like there's different perks in the heavy and light armor that make it very interesting. Heavy armor, I believe, I don't remember exactly how it works to the letter. I'd have to either read up on it again or something odd like and something else like that. But from what I remember is that if you're wearing a full set of if you're wearing a full set of heavy armor, or you're wearing heavy armor gauntlets or something like that, their armor rating goes onto your like unarmored damage. And I don't know if that's right, or half of your half of your heavy armor armor rating goes to your damage, pretty much. It's like something like that. Anyway, so pretty much, like I thought that Oblivion had similar perks to that. It doesn't. All it is like, oh, your heavy armor and light armor get degraded less often than they would normally be because there's a repair mechanic in Oblivion. And oh, your armor doesn't weigh you down nearly as much. And it's like, okay, like, that's pretty cool. And what else? It's like, you want something else? It's like, you're looking for something else? It's like, I'm sorry, man. Like, we thought that we were being very nice about all this stuff. So yeah, so I really thought that Oblivion had more to give towards heavy and light armor, but they doesn't. But I also thought about it in a different way too. So when I play the Oblivion mod playthrough, and even the Oblivion modded playthrough for that matter, uh, it becomes too easy whenever your armor doesn't degrade at all. And by that I mean like if your armor doesn't have like a health bar pretty much and is like invincible. So even like the wings of the traveler here and the carved pumpkin, like if I were to enchant this, and this is unbreakable by the way. So if this is unbreakable and if I enchant this to be just as powerful as this, let's say, or just as powerful as like the wings of the eternal, then at what point does me having armor even matter? When does it matter? Because literally, if I can literally have just about anything I really like, if I can have armor that pretty much makes me unkillable, then at what point does the game become unfun? So that's why I chose to hide it behind a variable inside of my mod. And the only way that that variable gets used is by a special book that is hidden within the mod. Mind you, I know where it is, so it's not really that well hidden, but still, like, the premise is still there, though. In order for me to activate this special clothing version of the armor, I myself have to activate it. It's manually activated, pretty much. Like, you yourself have to actively go for the book, actively click on the right number, because there's 2 settings for it. But to be fair, it doesn't really matter. Because the number is automatically set to 0, but the book can set it to 1, 2, or 0. Doesn't really matter, because once you set it to, I think if you set it to 1, it'll still do it. I might have to double check the code, though. I might have done an oopsie with it. So, I'll have to go fix that up. But again, though, like, even if I did go with that, like, that broken problem, it doesn't necessarily matter. Hey, that looks pretty interesting. Looks like a cocoon. Oh, that's really cool. But anyway, yeah, like, that's the kind of thing, though, that, like, I obviously like about my mod is that, like, I'll find these little errors and it's like, oh, great, like, I gotta go fix it. And it's like, it's just a slight little tweak and stuff like that. It's very nice. But for the most part, it's all done. I just restructured the resources folder in the textures by deleting it pretty much and just moving everything between 3 different folders, I think. Or not really 3 different folders, I think between 2 folders and just leaving them out and about until I figure out where to actually stash the other one. Or stash the other ones. It's because I found out that in the normal Oblivion textures folder, wood is actually out and about all on its own. Which I thought was very interesting. So what I did is that I did the exact same thing with my folder of wood and metal and glass. And I think there's another one too. I feel like I'm missing one. And the problem is that I feel like I'm missing it, but I feel like I'm not at the same time. But yeah, so like I made a folder specifically for furniture, so that's all the like anything that is considered furniture. My way. There you are, buddies. Wow. Aw. He's very nice. Anyway, yeah, so like I have to pretty much change a lot of my meshes to fit this new structure, which is fine. It has not affected the current build that we've used, so don't get me wrong. Like if I were to use, let's say, like if I wanted to play Oblivion modded playthrough, it's not going to affect it in any way, shape, or form. It shouldn't. It shouldn't affect it, but if it does, I still have a backup of the version that we used last time, so it's not that big of a deal. I might just have to change the ESP or not ESP, the ESM a little bit to fit the new changes that I've made internally in the mod. But other than that, yeah, it's fine. It's working fine and all fine and dandy. So I'm hoping that I can finish the Ogre ousting next weekend. I'll try and push it for today. Like for this week. I doubt it. Because literally I only have about 2 hours to myself to do anything, and usually I spend it on trying to do as much work I can with my Oblivion mod and my and Sercacraft, obviously, for right now. and then eventually it'll have to change because I can't actually keep doing that over and over again. Because not only will it be too tiring, but it'll just be too much for me to handle. And another thing that I wanted to mention though too is that like I think I've said this maybe before. I'm not quite sure if I said it on here yet. But I did receive I did get a new tablet that I can use for helping out with recording for Google searching and all that stuff. If you have ever watched my Nayroom series, you'll know that I use my tablet a lot during that series, in particular, and that's because like my tablet, I could easily just search up something and just go, okay, let's see here, blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for, and then go and do whatever I really need to for that. But unfortunately, though, like my tablet was very, very old, and not only that, it was very, very slow at doing what I wanted it to do. So instead, I sort of put it on the back burner and just said, you know what, I'll upgrade it whenever I can. So I'm now able to finally upgrade it. So I was able to get it into a much better position. The only problem is that I need to upgrade the external drive. So